Hello and welcome back to today's episode of Caden's Take. And I know what you're thinking. Caden, isn't this a sports news channel? Like, why is that the title of today's episode? Well, a lot of stuff has gone down in the past couple days, and instead of trying to explain all of it, I'm just going to make one giant video. So, there you go. So, I'll be briefly going over everything just because it's going to be a lot. So first up, Kyle Schwarber got out of the terribleness of the Cubs and decided to sign a one-year, $10 million contract with the Nationals that last week, and he will get $10 million guaranteed. And in 2021, he'll earn a base salary of $7 million if he chooses to stay. I think this is a good move for Schwarber. Um, and it's also a better move for the Nationals, as I said in my latest episodes, that the Nationals, to be complete, needed to fill the right field void. Well, Schwarber's a left fielder, but go put him in right field. Now they need third base and some relievers, and they have a championship-winning team in Washington, D.C. You better believe it. So I know I already made a video about this, but I wanted to talk about the complexity of his deal. So Liam Hendriks signed a deal where he broke the record for average annual value, which for 18 million a year. So his first 3 seasons, he will be on the White Sox for 18 million a year. His fourth season, when he will be 36 years old, the White Sox have a club option on him that'll be $15 million. If the White Sox don't take the club option, they do have to pay Liam Hendriks that $15 million, but they get to do it however way they want. So they can just give him the $15 million and let him leave, or they could give him $1 million a year for the next 15 years. They could do whatever they felt like doing. That's the complexity of the deal. It's just that he has to get something every year until he gets the money back for $15 million. So Alabama beat Ohio State in the national championship, the 1-seeded Alabama and the 3-seeded Ohio State, 52-24. The one stat that I just think is crazy is Devontae Smith, who was the very deserving Heisman winner in the national championship game, had 12 receptions for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns. As a team passing, Ohio State had 190 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, that's insane. The fact that literally the fact alone that he had 3 touchdowns and 215 yards is crazy, but the fact that that's more passing yards and passing touchdowns than the entire Ohio State offense, that's crazy. I'm in shock. And so Alabama deserved to win that game. Mac Jones hopefully gets to be on a good team next year. Maybe he'll be an understudy for another team. You don't know where he's going to go, but he'll definitely be drafted in the first round. Devontae Smith, I think, just opened up a lot of people's eyes. And hey, everybody's saying that the Dolphins are either going to trade Tua or trade their pick or do something with it. In my eyes, the best move for the Dolphins at number 3 is taking Devontae Smith, Tua's old wide receiver when Tua was over at Alabama. That'll give, not only is your biggest need an offensive weapons, but he already has a good relationship with Tua. Dolphins, listen to this. Go draft Devontae Smith with the third overall pick. Don't trade it. Don't trade Tua. Those two will have a good pairing in Miami. So this is a very fun topic. Pace and Nagy are both staying put. Chuck Pagano has retired from the NFL, and Bill Lazor's status is unknown, but they announced that Pace and Nagy will stay put. The most challenging and annoying part about this is when they decided to ask Ryan Pace if the question was very specific. The question was, have you learned from your mistake of drafting Trubisky over Mahomes and Watson, and how will you be able to avoid it next time? He completely dodged the question and all that. He doesn't understand that he is not doing good at GM, in my personal opinion. And I agree that Nagy deserves another chance. Nagy was able to get the boys to the playoffs, but if they do not make playoffs this year, and or if he has a bad year or the team has a bad year, Nagy needs to go. And I might even say Nagy needs to go now because Allen Robinson was saying that it wasn't Nagy or Lazor calling the plays at the end of the season. It was Nagy. And We all knew what Nagy's play calling was doing in the beginning of the season and in the middle. And in the end, we thought it was getting better, but then it started to get worse again. Was that because Nagy took it back and didn't tell anybody? Hey, I don't know, but I think Nagy needs to stop calling plays, and I think that Pace needs to go. And Nagy should get another year, but I don't know how much longer he should really be having in Chicago after that. So the Blackhawks lost on Wednesday 5-1 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. The most shocking part to me about this game was how much puck time the Lightning had. They had a total of 33 shots on goal, where the Blackhawks had only 23, and they spent the entire time in Blackhawks ice. I mean, Dylan Strome got the last second goal at the end of the game with Shaw and Boquist's assists, but literally there was 3.5 minutes left in the game when that goal got scored. It took us 3.5 minutes to get one goal. I mean, the Blackhawks aren't going to win any games if they don't do that. Stamkos had a goal and an assist. I mean, the guys had the Tampa Bay played a good game, and they're a good team. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying the Blackhawks shouldn't have lost that badly. The 3 stars went number 1 Stamkos, 2 Vasilevsky, and 3 Matthew Joseph, right wing. And so the Blackhawks really need to step up their game if they want to do really anything this offseason. Or not this offseason, this season, because 2 days ago was the season opener. So the Bruins will retire Willie O'Ree's number 22 on February 18th. I know you're probably thinking to yourself, who is Willie O'Ree? Willie O'Ree is the first African-American hockey player. And so he is the first on the Bruins. Don't quote me on first ever, but I know he was the first on the Bruins. As a fact, I think he was one of the originals. I don't know if he was the original, but he was the first that played for the Bruins. Anyways, it's awesome that his number is getting retired. He was a great player, and it's going to show a lot that Boston's doing that. So the Bulls have started the season 4-7. Now, I know they should have beat the Lakers and all that stuff that you're going to say in the comments if you're a Bulls fan. But the Bulls have been playing good, but since they're 4-7, how good have they really been playing? Yes, they beat the Trailblazers and all that, and I'm not saying the Bulls are bad or anything. I think they're doing really good, but they're 12th in their division, and they aren't the problem is they're not scoring enough in the end. I mean, they played tonight against OKC in Oakland, but or Oklahoma City, but their problem is that they're not getting enough points that they can close out their games, and that's how they keep losing. Zach LaVine against the Clippers, they lost to the Clippers by 3 points, 130 to 127. But Zach LaVine had 34, or I'm sorry, he had I don't know on the top of my head. He had 45 points in that game, and Kobe White had 9, and Garrett Temple had 18, and Williams had 17. I think that might have been Patrick Williams' best game, but anyways, Zach LaVine is averaging 34.4 points over the last 5 games. Zach LaVine's playing well, but the Bulls, there's a reason that they're losing, and it's not because they're a bad team or anything like that, but it is just because that they haven't been able to play basketball as a unit. So James Harden has been traded to the Brooklyn Nets. Now, I am not going to read off the full extent of that deal because I honestly don't really feel like going through that. That's just too much effort. Basketball trades are annoying. But we do know that in the deal, the Nets obviously got James Harden, and the Rockets got Pacers Victor Oladipo. I think I said that right, and if I didn't, I don't care, to be perfectly honest with you. That's a big upgrade, definitely, for the Rockets, although I think losing James Harden is definitely... I would prefer to have James Harden if I were the Rockets than Victor Oladipo, but if he doesn't want to be there, then do you really want him on your team? Also, news that just broke because that's kind of what I do here, and we'll end it with this. Theo Epstein, former Cubs president of baseball operations, will join the commissioner's office as a consultant regarding on field matters. The MLB will announce this later on today on Thursday. This is when I'm making it the day before. Um, and so that sounds great for Theo. I think he's kind of done with managing a team, but I think that'll definitely be good for him. And hopefully he can just make the game better. And that's all anyone can ask for with people in those roles. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I know I kind of just rambled on a little bit there, but we had a lot of stuff that I wanted to knock out because if I don't, it's not like I want to come back to this 2 weeks later and be like, hey, remember that thing that happened 2 weeks ago? So anyways, if you liked the video, please consider subscribing and like it if you did. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day.